Today at our Wellbeing Expo, we welcome Kristen Rost from Nationwide. She is representing the Ohio Opioid Education Alliance. Welcome, Kristen, to New Albany Schools. Can
Thank
you
you,
tell us a
Diane.
little? Thank you. Can you tell us a little bit about the Ohio Opioid Education Alliance?
Yeah, the Ohio Opioid Education Alliance is a private-public partnership. There's about 100 organizations that are members of the alliance. And the mission of the alliance is to prevent opioid abuse and to really educate parents and and caregivers about things that they can do to prevent the next generation of children abusing opioids.
That's fabulous. Really important information. I know that you've been with us the past couple of years when we've had our expo in person at Healthy
Yeah,
New Albany, and you've had lots of great educational material that we were physically able to share, and we're
that's right.
really excited. Yeah, we're really excited that you can share it virtually with us. What are the current trends happening with opioid abuse? Are things changing because of this pandemic?
You know, things actually are changing. Things are unfortunately getting worse because of the pandemic. We have seen spikes in numbers and over opioid overdoses. There was one week, a couple weeks ago, where there were 30 overdoses in a 24-hour period. Um, and so I think, what we're really seeing that is that with the pandemic and the added stressors, that people are self-medicating and turning, unfortunately, to opioids.
Wow, that is an amazing number of people in specifics. You kind of hear things are worse, but really hearing those numbers puts it right there out
It does
for
put it
you.
in perspective, yeah.
Yeah, really. What is the most important information you would like parents, students, caregivers to know about opioid abuse?
I think, the two most important things that we found are one is to talk to your kids. And it's not, parents probably have heard this a lot. It's not one conversation, it's consistent conversations. And you can start having conversations as young as 5. And it looks different. What you would talk about with a 5-year-old is very different than what you talk about with a 16-year-old, right? But you can start laying the foundation. And so I have young kids, and how we talk about it is with vitamins. They take a daily vitamin. They're gummies. They taste good, right? I mean, if my kids could, they'd eat the whole bottle. And so we start having those conversations really early. And I say you can only take 2, and if you take more it would make you sick. You can only take the number of medication that mommy or a doctor says that you can. And then the same thing, like, you can't take it from anybody else, you can't take it from your brother. And so, laying the foundation really early that you need to take the prescribed amount and that you can only take medication from a doctor or your parent, and so that they can't get it from their friend. Obviously the conversation changes with a 16-year-old than it does with a 6-year-old, but you start having those conversations really early. And so, we do know that 47% of kids say that because if their parents talk to them, they're less likely to use drugs. And so it's very important that we have those conversations and consistently have them, not just like the one time check it off your list and say, oh, good, I'm done. The other piece that's really important is to dispose of pills, especially opioids. And so, I think we're probably at some time we've all been guilty of it. You have a procedure, they prescribe you, 10 pills, 5 pills, and you take 2 or 3, put them in the medicine cabinet because in that first week you might feel bad later and you might
Mm-hmm.
use them and then you forget about it and they just sit in your medicine cabinet. And kids can find those and take them. And especially with the pandemic right now, we're all home. And whether it's out of boredom or, you know, interest, or people are feeling, there's depressed and so want to take something and are going looking for them. If opioids are in your medicine cabinet, the likelihood that they're going to be used increases. And it may not be your kids either. It could be your kids' friends, or even individuals who are in your house. It's been really interesting throughout the last couple years with the Ohio Opioid Education Alliance. We've had realtors come. The Realtors Association joined the alliance. The reason they joined is that people would come to open houses just to go through medicine cabinets and get opioids. And so now the realtors have a Datera drug disposal bag, and it's kind of part of the package. So it's, when you're thinking about staging your house and removing valuables, they're also like, go through your medicine cabinets. If you're not using the opioids, please dispose of them. If you are using it, put it in your, take it with you, put it in your purse. Um, the same, the same thing about, if you have repair people in your house or, anyone, it could be something that people are looking for. And that was an eye opener to me. I didn't think about it that way, and that people were specifically going to open houses to look for those pills. So, the biggest things that we can tell parents listening is to dispose of medication if you don't need it, and then talk to your kids. The other piece I'd love to point out is, and this is for if your kiddos are a little bit older, and in sports and athletics, kids get hurt, um, unfortunately, and oftentimes, we want parents to have knowledge and be the best advocate. Oftentimes, Tylenol, acetaminophen, and ibuprofen will handle the pain. Um, Talk to your doctor about it, but be an advocate for your child and ask if your doctor prescribes an opioid, do they need this prescription? Can they take acetaminophen or ibuprofen? And they can have the kids take it every other time. So there's a lot that can be done, and it's just asking the questions and being advocate for your child. If there are some injuries and surgeries where an opioid is the right prescription, and if that's the case, there are some protocols that um, collegiate athletes and professional athletes use, where the trainers hold on to the medication, they give it to the athlete. They're not having the athlete take the medication, and so really having the parent act as the trainer, the individual giving the medication. And we have resources. We've partnered with the Ohio High School Athletic Association, um, and it's a two-sided card that kind of just walks you through, because of course when your kid gets hurt, the last thing on your mind is to ask about all these pain medications. You're kind of stunned, and you're just taking the prescription that the doctor gives you and trusting the doctor. So we have a card that parents can take with them and walk through, and we're working with a lot of the schools to have the athletic trainers and coaches hand that to the parents too. um, but just really asking the questions and being an advocate for your child.
That's really a lot of fabulous information that I think will benefit our parents. Thank you so much. And I love that one with the athletes. I think we should try and see how we can connect you with our athletic department also, if we are not already.
Yeah, that would be great.
Yeah, absolutely. How can families find more information? Do you have some of the stuff on a website or flyers?
Yeah, so if
Flyers.
they go to don'tliveindenial.org, they can download a lot of these resources. There's a box where they can ask for the doTERRA bags to be sent to their house,
Mm,
um,
that's nice.
so that they can go through medicine cabinets. So I would encourage everyone to go to don'tliveindenial.org, kind of browse the different sections, see the different links, and if you're not finding something uh, that would be helpful for you, or if you have questions, there's also a link where you can reach out to us and we can get you anything that you might need.
That's perfect. And we'll share those links on our website as well to make it easy for parents to get to. Thank you,
Thank
Kristen,
you.
so much for joining us. And is there anything else that we didn't cover that's important to share?
No, I really appreciate you guys inviting us to be part of your expo. And if anyone has any questions, feel free to reach out. We know it's really hard to be a parent and a caregiver, and so hopefully some of these resources help.
Thank you so much. We appreciate you.
Yeah, thank you.